Okay, so now let's get into how to spot the flow of money. Like, how do I find out where the flow of money is happening? So, we're going to go through several examples for this. So, the flow of money. Now, we're looking at euro on this one. And if you're looking at euro, what I want you to do is if you're, for example, a trader and you want to trade the 4-hour charts, to trade the 4-hour charts, you need data from the daily, which will tell you direction, right? So if you want to use the 2 time frame rule, as I don't know if you've already covered this in your Mastering Price Action course yet or not, but you should have, you will cover this stuff. So there's always going to be a 2 time frame rule. And the 2 time frame rule basically says is depending on how often you want to trade, you must have one outlook of a time frame above you. Okay? So assuming you want to trade, 1 time per day on average, let's say, so that's like a 4-hour daily. Okay? So you're a 4-hour trader, but then you have to have the outlook of the daily. So having an outlook of the daily here, what you want, I'm going to switch to the daily charts, and all of them are going to switch to the dailies. Okay, here we are to the dailies now. I want to focus on this area here, just this much. I don't want to look at all this data because what does it matter what the prices was doing in September? What I'm interested in this area is what's it doing here. Now here's why. Because the behavior of the market in September or October might be very different from the behavior that it's doing now. Okay? So for example, it was hardcore downtrend, then uptrend, then downtrend. But if I look at EuroCAD, it was in a range for some times, and then now it's in a downtrend. So which one do I take? You know what I mean? So avoiding conflict like that, like this one, Euro Yen, uptrend or currently range. Well, which one is it? Okay? So you want to keep that in mind, and having that said, you want to open up your eyes to just this much data here. Okay? So let's look into that. If I say just this much data, okay, what would you say the euro is doing right now? The euro's made a lower low. The guy responsible was here because the breach happened right here, right? And currently we're still below. This says the euro is still weak. It did pull back a little bit, but the euro's weak. We're going to put this as a W. Okay? The euro is weak. Okay, on EuroCAD, if I focus on this much area as well, here we go. It broke down below. This is the lowest point. After the breach happened, the guy who started the breach is up here. We're going up to challenge the breach, but we haven't gone above it. So that means it's still in seller's territory, which means euro is weak here as well. It's in a downward flow. Okay? Going forward, euro yen. If I look at the recent area only, it looks like we went higher than this area. The guy who started all this seems to be here, because once we reach this highest pinnacle, once we broke this this barrier here, right? Let me put that. Once we broke that barrier, that's the highest pinnacle it reached. That X marks the spot, and then since then we never made a higher high. Please do not mistake this as a higher high, because those are just pokeouts. Price does not stay up there. They're just little pokeouts. So since then, this is also a pokeout, because it was immediate to go down, immediate to go back up. If you haven't already covered this in Mastering Price Action, it will be coming up soon. Okay, so these are not important. These are just pokeouts. Having that said, these are just pokeouts. This area does not count as a lower low, but instead the line can stay the way it is, making this a range. So if this is a range, then we can put a question mark, or we don't have to put anything. This is neutral. This is neutral. Euro Aussie, if I was to say focus on just this much area here, looks like we're in an upward movement. If that's an upward movement there, this says Euro strong. Okay. On Euro New Zealand here, if I say focus on just this much area here, okay, same thing. Okay, I'm eyeballing the area, just around that much area. Okay? There is no set number of candles. There is no anything. What I'm looking for is there any change of flow? If there is change of flow, it needs to show up in this area. If there is not change of flow, then the flow resumes. Okay? So in this much area, if I say overall it's a downtrend, but this overall coming in from October all the way to end of December, it's like, well, that's like several months. You want to trade today, so what does it matter what it was doing 2 or 3, 4 months ago? Okay? Focus on this recent area. What's the recent flow it has? Okay. Euro pound here. Oh, so this one also says strong. And then euro pound here, if we're looking at this, if I say focus on just this recent area here, we have this highest point, we have a breach here, lowest point. So this is the guy who started it. We never went above him. We just poked out above, and from the lowest point, we never went lower. This is actually a range, neutral, okay, or a question mark. Okay, so nothing. So let's calculate this now. So how do I get my scoring right on this? Like, what's the score? What does it mean to keep score? So this is out of 6. Okay, I'm gonna empty this chart out. Okay, and clean it up. So what's the score here? So we had 2 neutrals. We got 2 weaks. We got 2 strongs. And then 2 neutral. Okay? So a weak is like saying, oh, okay, well, we're going to give it a -1, -1 score. Another weak, -1 score. Strong is +1. A strong is +1. And then a neutral is 0. A neutral is 0. So total, there are 6 possibilities. And out of 6, what's our score? -1, -1 is -2. -2 plus 1 is -1. -1 plus 1 is 0. Okay? Basically, there is no flow in the market. It's not telling you a definite direction, which means euro is not a pair of interest. Keep that in mind. Let's do another example.